It's Imperial Carter, the buzz of hip hop. You tune in live with Flopper Radio. We are the best in culture, the best in the world. I'm here live with Chi-Town Zone, Chi City. What's going on, fam?
Yeah. What's going down, man? Chillin'.
Shit, ain't nothing to it but to do it, man. First off, let's get into your name, man. Why did you choose the name Chi City, bro?
I chose the name Chi City because honestly, I just wanted to represent my city and home. You know what I'm saying? Chi City is a big name for Chicago, so I felt if I was really gonna stand behind my city, you know, why not be called my city? So.
Absolutely, man. You gotta stand up. That's what's up, man. Talk to us about your influences as far as music is concerned, man.
Music, man, they go far back. You know, definitely growing up in Chicago. A lot of the Chicago talent that was coming up at the time. You know, like the Future Conflict, Do or Die, Twister. You know, because my original style was fast. You know, so growing up listening to them really helped out a lot. But you know, outside of that, you know, definitely both the Harmony, Jay-Z, Luda, Courts, Ye, all day. So it really spread around though.
Absolutely, man. How did you feel about Kanye West's last project, bro?
It was cool. I wouldn't say it was a classic Kanye what he was known for, but I think he did what he did to prove a point, you know, because he gave us all types of music, you know, so I wasn't surprised when he came with that. It's a little different, but that's expected from someone like him. He's not gonna give you the same thing every time.
Right, and that's I think for the most part, you should try to challenge yourself as an artist. I feel like he does that. Some artists, like, you expect, like, whatever, they're consistent. Like, if you look at, like, a Currency or something, like, he only talks about smoking weed or whatever, but, like, he's best at that shit. You don't want to hear him try to do some Yeezy shit, because it wouldn't work for him.
Right.
Absolutely,
yeah,
man.
Check it out, though. A lot of stuff he come up with, you know, later on, you actually hear that spread out throughout hip-hop. You know, it's like cats like Travis Scott who coming up, and a lot of newer cats are running with that sound Kanye started with, you know, the Dark Twisted Fantasy. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, people are influenced, of course, by somebody like Kanye West. Is a giant in our culture, not even just our culture, but in culture in general. So you're gonna find a lot of people gonna be influenced by him. What's your favorite Kanye West project, man?
Favorite Kanye, I would say the work you do for Jay, for real.
Okay.
Even though I like Ye personal work, but when he actually get behind it, he creates the artwork for others, and he really showcases talent, because he shows that he can not only create it for himself, but you know he can actually spread it around and show that love. So I think that's where the real creativity come in. It's like when you can write hits not only for yourself but for other people, then you definitely something to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, man. And that's something that you actually have a background in. You write songs for other people, man. Talk to us about your songwriting process. Like, how do you start, like, writing a song? Like, what do you do to get into the zone?
I start with the production. I get the beats. I don't really even like being in the studio with a lot of people. Like 98% of like every record I've ever recorded to this day have always been just me in the studio, because I engineer as well. So there's no need to ever have an engineer, so I get everything myself in. I always say I like the producers send the tracks in, because I usually don't let anything down. So I dive out to the beats. Some beats production, I hear as soon as they come on, I'm able to start vibing out to it and coming up with something immediately. Then you got some records where I actually have to sit back and constantly go over it and lay down like 5 or 6 different references before I actually get like the final draft to the record. So it all varies based off the production. You know, every beat takes me a certain challenge.
Absolutely.
When it comes to rap.
Absolutely, man. Now, you just said that you also engineer as well. I know that you've had your own studio for a while, pretty much since you were like 17. How did you come up with the idea to have your own studio, and why did you get into engineering as well?
Well, because growing up, I really couldn't afford a recording studio time like that. And not only that, I was limited to my resources as far as what studios I could possibly go to. You know, I had other cousins who did music, but they really wasn't interested in what I was doing at the time. So it kind of always overlooked me, and they guys and their little home set up at the crib and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm actually going to sit back and actually learn how to record myself so I never have to have that problem again. And so over the course of time, I actually learned how to record, not just learning it, and I just kept recording. I actually learned the process of engineering, you know, from the technical side to just the basic side. So, you know, I'm able to do it full around. So that was the initial reason I opened up the studio, because I couldn't afford one day, and the first chance I had the chance to purchase equipment, I did it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's a great benefit to yourself, because now you don't have to count on anybody. You were talking about how you're in the studio by yourself. Mostly you get the beat and then you start writing the song. It really is an efficient process, because you don't have to wait on somebody to mix it. You don't have to wait for this feature, for that. You kind of are like self-contained with being able to write the song and then mix your vocals and then other people's vocals as well. You don't have to you eliminate the engineering part if you want to for other outside engineers.
Right. They help that a lot, you know, and I travel with my local studio as well, so I'm always able to record on the go, but it helps out so much doing sound when it comes to working in the studio. You know, no one knows your sound better than you if you're not used to recording yourself.
Absolutely, man. On your website, it says you've also recorded over 200 artists as an engineer, man. Do you prefer working on music for yourself, or do you like working on music for other people?
What they do, and it can be fun, you know, because they actually try to be creative in the studio versus cats who only want to record because they see this cat doing it, and like, oh, it's that easy, I can do it too. It's like it's not fun, because they don't really care or put any work into what they actually trying to do. So it feels like a waste of time most of the time, but lately, it's really just been focused on recording me, which I've been having a lot of fun, because I'm able to take everything I have learned over the course of time, recording so many different artists, and you learn so much stuff. And that's a trick with engineers. It's like when you're in the process of learning how to engineer, the best thing to do is practice on other people, because 9 out of 10, they don't care how they record sound. So you're able to try out everything you really want to try on your records and play around with it with the freedom of, if you don't like it, you can take it off and not really have nobody complain about it. So I do that a lot when I was recording people coming up. I was just applying any type of effect. If I didn't know what it was, I was playing around with it like I know what it was, just to figure out what it did to the vocals and everything like that. And I learned a lot of cool techniques, different techniques and styles like that.
I definitely feel you, man. It's kind of like cutting hair. Like you do it until you get it right, but if it's practicing on other people, so it's kind of cool. Like it makes you better at the same time.
Yeah, so you mess up and ain't your head. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's bad, but that's cool. You know, that's a cool thing about technology now, man. You get that undo button versus back then. So.
Right, back then it was all analog technology and stuff. And then like when we were coming up, as you were saying, studio equipment wasn't readily accessible. Now, like anybody can have just like a laptop, some cheap software or whatever, and then you could start recording yourself. And you may not know shit about recording. You just like, hey, I see the next dude do it. Which that shit kind of sucks if you think about it, because you have so many people that are not really passionate about the art. And I definitely understand that sentiment. Like you're not really want to working with people that are not passionate. Like it sucks because like you put all your all into it, and you just see them half-assing it. It's like, man, get the fuck out of here. Like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this shit.
And that really sucks, man, because they really waste your time at the end of the day, because they don't say what you do fierce. You know, and when they come in, they always want to duplicate somebody else's sound. You know, I have a lot of cats that come in at the time when I was recording, like, man, I want my vocals to sound like Walker. And I'm like, you know, that's Walker's voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, an engineer can't make your voice sound like Walker's voice. You know what you mean? Like, the EQ, the pressure is like, no, they actually want Walker's sound. It's like, man, it don't work like that. You know, you first have to actually try to sound right on the record, you know, and it's like apply some effort and really go in there with a mindset of like what type of record you want to make, the concept, at least attempt to do something decent, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you're not even wasting your time, because your time can't get costed if you just in there playing around.
Absolutely, man. And people don't really know their own voices because they haven't been in the studio long enough to experiment and know what their voice sounds like and to figure it out. Like, they just want to sound like you said, Waka Flocka, or even like producers. Like, if you're working with an artist, sometimes they'll be like, hey, give me a beat like Kanye West, or give me a beat like Kendrick Lamar. It's like, why not create your own sound? Don't be a copycat. Let's create something original and new. And that's how you're going to stand out. Like, you could make, whatever trendy shit. You're gonna be there for a minute. But if you're a real artist, you want an original sound, and that's what you should go after when you're working in the studio with people.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I think a lot of artists overlook that as well because they fail to realize that a lot of artists that they trying to duplicate had an original style. So it's like if you really try to follow under their footsteps, look at the basic steps they took. They created their own sound. Especially like a lot of the younger generation now, like. More so be like the Chief Keefs and Dirks and all them. It's like they came in with a distinct sound that was similar to the South with the up tempo and everything else, but they had their own originality to it. You know what I'm saying? You can't really compare the Chief to Soulja Boy. You know what I'm saying? To compare Chief to all these other like Southern funk artists with like the heavy bass trap type beats. It's like you came in with a distinct sound. So if you're gonna follow in that footsteps, come in doing something different. So it's like it's not being repetitive because once that sound die out and you running behind that sound, you're going to fade away before you get your start because you didn't come in with anything different. You just did the exact same sound that got washed over everything else. If it comes to that, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Definitely, man. Now, you're so involved in the creative process, man. You rap, you engineer, you record other people as far as the engineering process and songwriting. Like, what is your favorite part of the creative process?
Favorite part of the creative process is the actual recording part, like hearing the raw track versus the finished product. Because you'll be surprised, like what a lot of these records sound like before they touch on. You know what I'm saying? Like they do not sound how they sound when you hear it on the radio or something like that, man. And it's crazy learning that. Actually being able to sit in. Like a lot of big sessions and like major artists and see the process of that. It's like, man, that's crazy. That's what y'all after they voices sound like that. Like they don't really sound like that in person. So I think that's the fun part, discovering like the secrets behind it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like movies in a sense. When you see the final product, you like, man, that's crazy. But if you see how they make it, you like, wow, I never even thought they would have did something like that to make that look like that.
Absolutely, man. Once you discover that kind of behind the scenes part, as an artist and a consumer, you can kind of appreciate it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, you got to. You definitely have to, because being an artist and an engineer plays hand in hand. Because when I'm sitting there recording another artist and I see they really just bullshit and they don't take it serious, it's like that's when you really realize, like, at the end of the day, the competition is very slim because it's only a small selection of people that really take music serious, and those usually be the ones that succeed, the ones who kind of creep through the door, just come into like a cash-in opportunity, you know what I'm saying, that did something at that particular time that was able to generate some income. But outside of that, it's like, man, everyone don't really love it like you love it. It's like you don't even pay attention or worry about what I'm trying to do. And that always been me. It's like I don't even care about who's doing it, because 9 out of 10 they're probably not willing to do the exact same things I'm willing to do, which is actually take the time to work. Put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Shine later, work now.
Absolutely. Now, as an engineer, man, is it difficult as a consumer, as a fan of hip hop? Is it difficult to listen to songs? Because, like, I bet you probably pick out things like, man, they should have mixed this, they should have did this better. Is it difficult for you to listen to songs as an engineer?
Yes and no. I would say if it's major recorded tracks, then that's kind of like I really just listen to the record. I really don't listen to how it's actually engineered, unless it's just like really, really horrible. But being an engineer, everyone has a different technique. I've sat in studios with engineers who didn't even apply effects to their records. They did everything outboard. It's like they outboard gear so right that they really don't even have to add any effects, like any EQs, any compression, just like the pure natural sound. And it's just crazy. So it's like everyone has their own different technique. And a lot of engineers don't even mix. They do everything outboard. You know, they set the compression already. They set the EQ ready. They set the levels of the input when you actually record onto the track. They like level all that out. So it was like when you done recording, it's like that's your final track. Then
Absolutely.
The only thing they just do some tweaking. So it's all different when it comes to it.
Absolutely. There's, as they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And talk to us about your project, man. You released last year, My Untold Story, man. Was that your first official mixtape?
My Untold Story. It wasn't my first official mixtape, but I would say that was my first official mixtape that gained the amount of attention it did. My early mixtapes, you know, it was buzzing like particular records and everything like that, but that particular project really caught a lot of attention and helped out a lot to, you know, give me where I am right now.
Absolutely, man. What was your favorite track off of that project?
On My Untold Story, I would say the intro, which is Backstabbers, and what else? Just like me, it's you don't know My Untold Story, but you don't want that one. Because they all tell a different story, though. Like, when you write the record versus seeing it back, a lot of people really might not have an idea what you're talking about. You know, they might just think it's a record. But every one of them records, if we just go through record by record, track one by one, it's a story behind every record. Every record is going to relate to me personally. Even if it's not indirectly talking about me, if I was to break it down, you're going to wow. You know what I'm saying? Because I've made it for me and hopefully for everyone else to catch on to it.
Absolutely, man. You just released your most current project, Cruel Winter, in a few months ago. Talk to us about that project, man. How that came about.
Cruel Winter, that was a project in the making. I was actually working on Cruel Winter in the process of working on My Untold Story. Because I just record records, so it's like I really don't sit down and be like, okay, I'm about to work on this new project. I just focus on recording. And then when it comes down, I try to select based around the range of what I'm doing. And if I have to go back and create something particularly for that project, then I do that. For one of us, just that timing where I needed, I felt like I wanted to release something new. And it just so I was watching the Kanye interview, and he was talking about he wasn't sure when he was going to be able to do Cruel Winter, the follow with his Cruel Summer. And when he said he had no idea when he was going to be able to do it, I was like, man, that's a perfect marketing plan right now. Because everyone's expecting the Cruel Winter, so the name was already out there. Everyone was familiar with the artwork from the original, and I just said the artwork redid, give it like more so that winter look. Kind of, you know, added a little more to it as far as details, and that the Cruel Summer concept of the cover was very, very pale and plain. And I just kind of like added a lot more detail for the Cruel Winter, so it's like a lot of people gravitated towards it because they were familiar with the image and familiar with the name, and the music just had to match up, which it did, you know. So when it came with a combination of all three, it was great.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Was the reception from that project what you expected it to be?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's still not done. That's what I'm currently pushing. Project the Star. I released it a little bit late because I wanted to release it dead smack in the middle of winter, but I kind of caught it a little bit as winter was fading out, which was still cool. But yeah, that's a lot. Like it's gonna be a visually empowered project. Like the visuals we getting ready to shoot continue to promote it. It's gonna be crazy. You know, not just going with the regular content. I got some crazy visuals about to be released for us.
Absolutely, and you can see that in one of the videos he released already from that project, Rich Nigga Dreams. In that video, you kind of like, I guess you get kidnapped by a white supremacist or whatever. I saw the video, you had the news saw the shit, he had to kidnap. I was like, man, this is like some legit shit. This is like some next level shit in terms of a thematic in the actual video. How did you come up with that concept, man?
Yeah, man. It was shot and directed by me and two of my friends. And I did all the editing. Like, I had to teach myself how to edit it and Final Cut, because I used to hate waiting on video directors because they never could pull together. At least the ones I work with, I can't say you can't, but the ones at that particular time that I was working with really couldn't capture what I wanted to do. So I actually edited that video myself, in Final Cut, like 100%, and kind of did it the way I wanted to. And it was so crazy, like, we spent like, maybe like 2 days shooting, and we turned like, one of my homies' basement into that full set. Like, his basement was like empty, and we went out and just found like crazy ass props and like old abandoned garages and just laying around different places, and we literally made like a production set, down there. We kind of went down there and just like created the storyboard, and we got so much B-roll that I'm actually gonna do like a part 2, but it's really not gonna be a music video. I'm still kind of debating on that if it's gonna be an actual audio visual, or we're gonna do like a short film of telling the story of how I actually ended up in the house.
Absolutely, man. It's gonna be pretty dope. If you haven't seen it out there, people, make sure you go see Rich Nigga Dreams. It's on YouTube. It's a dope ass video. You can catch it on his website as well, shotcity.com. Super dope, man. I love that video. It's probably like, because of the video, it's probably my favorite song off that project. I just recently heard it prior to the interview, but I was like, man, this shit is extra dope, bro. I had to run it back like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, cool one, man. That's a good one for me right there.
Absolutely, man. Now, what do you have coming up next, bro? Like, are you in the process of recording a new project? Do you have something coming out for the rest of 2014?
I'm working on new records every day. I'm just recording. More so focused on singles right now, and not more so like singles to push as far as radio. Just great, solid records that I can actually release that that can relate to and gravitate towards. So I got some pretty good records that's going to be coming up over the next few months. And outside of that, just gearing up for tour. Getting ready to go on tour next month. I've been on the road for almost a full month. I'm going on tour with Lil Debbie. It's a chick, a female rapper from the West Coast with a crazy fan base, like crazy buzz. So I'm gonna have on the road with her for quite a few days, and really just get out there, man, spend the brain and keep working.
Absolutely. Make sure you catch Shot City on that tour, man. What cities are you guys going to be heading to?
It kicks off in Denver, Colorado, and then from there we hit all over, man. From Cleveland to St. Louis to North Carolina, Atlanta, New York, got Orlando, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Springfield. Man, it's all over.
Absolutely.
We going all over on this.
Absolutely. Make sure you check out Shot City in a city near you. Now, before you get out of here, man, make sure you just give the people your social networks and where they can find your music, man.
On my website, which is iamshotcity.com. Also my SoundCloud, which is soundcloud.com/whoisshotcity. And same as the YouTube, Who Is Shot City, and all my social media as far as Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is /IamShotCity.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow him out there on social networks. Make sure you cop his music, man. The last question we have for you before you get out of here, man, like, you've been at it for a long time. What advice would you give out to artists that are starting out brand new?
stores do the business decision just because if you're out and you're pursuing a career that you actually make a living from, you know, it's not like I work another job. Like I do music 24/7, so it's like if you're doing music as a career and you're in the music business, you have to treat it as if you are working a regular job. So if someone comes between your next dollar, you can't get personal with the decision if you have to remove yourself away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because if your bills are due at the end of the month or whatever, and someone else holding you up from that, and you're not really standing up to put a stop to it, you're really just allowing yourself to be hindered by anything that could possibly be happening for yourself. You know, and it's tough choices when it comes to that. A lot of people don't understand that, you know, because they only see the glitz and glam on TV, or they might know this cat who's doing this much or that much, but the real dirt behind the closed doors is like that's what people really don't want to hear because they hope to never run into that. But that's what you really run into when them cameras is not on you every day. And a lot of people is afraid to admit that. You know, they want everybody to really think they out here and they got it like that, or their situation is great. You know, I'm gonna tell you right now, like if your situation is not great, you have to really be able to stand up and speak up on it because if you don't, no one to know. And you'll just be someone who pursued music for so long, and 15, 16, 20 years go by, and you haven't even accomplished one major thing for yourself because you just failed to sacrifice the smaller things. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going out to the club, spending time in the crib working on your craft. You know, so instead of spending $300 on some Jordans, spending $300 on a quality mic so you have quality sound. You know, instead of writing on your CDs with markers, that money you would have used for weed, actually go out and duplicate and turn up some CDs. All of that matters because it's all perception to the people. You know, it's no different. How them shoes look when you go in the store and buy them, that's how people want to see your music if you want them to believe it. They want to invest in quality products. They don't want to invest in something that looks like it's going to fall apart the moment they throw it in. And that's something I had to learn coming up, you know, regardless of the most talented to the least talented that's successful right now. That's one thing they all have in common is that they product that they're packaging up is packaged up professional. You know, meaning that when they step out, they might not be the best dressed, but you best believe they have a team behind them making sure everything is professional. You know what I'm saying? They have everyone. They have people handling their business. You know, they treat their fan base accordingly. You know, their fan base fell in love with them because they just laid back kid who really don't dress flying fancy and you just want to sit back and smoke weed, then that's his brand. You know, so he's going to promote that brand as professional as he can. You know, and it's like you have to understand what you have. When the people follow you for a particular thing, that's your brand. And you have to make sure you focus on crafting that brand the best you can at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's like Wiz. You know, that's the last example I gave. He smokes weed, so every record you hear, he's making sure he's branding what the people first fell in love with him for.
Absolutely. And people don't understand it's a 24-hour level job. Like it's not just you know five hours a week or whatever. Like you said, you have to commit all your time. You have to make sacrifices to put in what you get out. You have to invest into yourself. You're gonna be in the red for hella long until you reach that next level. So it's not a quick game. It's definitely a grind out there.
Oh yeah, you just really gotta make a choice on how far you actually want to go. A lot of cats don't want to go that far, and that's just the truth. They just want to get in, make some money, and get out. So their career might only last a year and a half or 2 years when they actually get a legit foot in the door. I'm not saying that's bad, but if that's your level of success where you feel like, okay, I'm comfortable and I made it and that's all I wanted to accomplish, then it's absolutely fine. You know, but when you're someone who kind of follows in the same path with me, which I don't get comfortable. You know, I want to do everything I possibly can at the end of the day. So with me, it's like, the biggest thing to me is still going to seem small because I want more than that, you know, and not in a gritty way. I feel like I can accomplish more than just that, so why stop that?
Absolutely, man. The sky should be the limit, even higher than that. And anytime you go out there and you pursue a project or you're doing something, you should make sure you're doing your best every time. It shouldn't be some bullshit.
Always, and that's man, that matters. It really matters, man. And it's sad, like especially being an artist and an engineer when you got so many cats come in. They always ask you too, because you know a lot of them that was coming to my studio at the time when I had the time to actually record other artists. They used to always ask me advice and be like, man, you know, are you able to do all this and work with these people like you here recording with us? I'm like, man, what y'all paying attention to is a dream. You know, the reality is like you can do a lot of great things in music and still be, you know, able to come to the studio and record cats like you. It's like these people are not untouchable. You know what I'm saying? You're no different from them. If you believe you can reach one end, start doing your research. You know what I'm saying? Follow these steps. Learn from their mistakes. Understand what they did to go there. You know, there's no set blueprint for music. It's right or wrong. It's doing or don't. But everyone has their own entryway. You know, no one makes it the same. It might take some cats 2 months. Might take some cats 6 years. But the end result, they all get in there. And they all got in there different. And their choices all led them in different directions. So that's what I mean, like the sacrifice. Like certain things you sacrifice are determine either how long it's going to take you to get there or if you're going to get there at all.
Absolutely. You have to willing to, as you said, to really sacrifice and not just make some semi-tough choices. It's really about your lifestyle and how committed you are to accomplishing your goal. And that goes for anything, not just music, but whatever you want to do out there. If you want to be a fucking engineer, you got to do that research. You got to do that. You got to do that time, get the education, do what you need to do to get to that next level. Everybody has to make sacrifices to get to where they want to be. Not just for music. It's sound advice for anybody, not just a musician or a rapper or artist or what you have.
Oh yeah, that's everything and everyone.
Absolutely.
Everything and everyone.
Absolutely, man. Definitely wise word from a wise man, man. We appreciate you coming through the Flyboy Radio, man. Make sure you guys check out Shot City's music. I am SciShitty.com. Check out everything he's got on the streets. YouTube. His album's out right now. Crew Winner on iTunes. Make sure you cop that. Give him feedback. Hashtag Shot City. Hashtag Flyboy Radio, man. We appreciate you coming through.
Alright, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Peace.